if you are playing with a group that is creative and fun, and you've got the ability to like think on your feet and know what your players might do and have answers for it, these are going to be great stories. If you're not so great at adjudicating those kind of things, then this might not be the item for you. I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave.
Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. All right, it's that time again. D&D Beyond Homebrew. This time we're going to be talking about Staves.
We are going to be talking about Staves. So we got our top 10 list, and if you're not familiar, the way this works is we pick out what we believe are the most popular based on views, or at least the thing that people seem to show the most interest in. We read that list of 10, and then we each pick an item from that list to talk about that intrigues us, interests us, or maybe we have a monkey throw a dart at a dartboard. No. We pick things that we like, we want to talk about. And then, all of that goes down in the description so that you can look at all of the ones, even the ones that we don't talk about.
So if you have a free account over on D&D Beyond, you can come check out this list and, see all the fun things that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, and it's only fair to mention two things. One, Nerdarchy Doug over on the website does his own list by a factor of 3. So basically what we did, but 3 times the number of magic items. A little bit different in written format. We'll put a link in one of these cards up here to that. And also, D&D Beyond is a sponsor for this video. We want to thank them and let you know to power up your games with D&D Beyond. So we've got Moonfire Staff, Staff of Utility, As You Will Quarterstaff, Staff of the Master Necromancer, Staff of the True Cleric, Staff of the Novice Necromancer, Staff of Anti-Thunder and Darkening, Extendable Pole, Staff of the Master, Staff of Magic Missile.
So a lot of interesting things there, and there's a lot of things in this list that kind of seems like an extrapolation of other magic items with just some different things. So, I wanted to pick something that I felt was, unique and interesting. So I've got the As You Will Quarterstaff. It's a staff, quarterstaff, legendary, requires attunement by an abbot or other high-level monk. So I definitely have an issue with, these things, there is no gamified mechanic for abbot. So what is that? And what counts as high-level monk? So typically I would say, by a monk, or, some other thing that's a gamified scenario, because that's usually tied to mechanics. A more metal quarterstaff, which can perform magical actions at the will of its owner. At the command of the owner, the staff can magically, and it's got a whole list of things, return. The quarterstaff returns to the user at the speed of 10 feet per second. It should say 60 feet per round. Lengthen. The staff lengthens up to 20 feet. If there isn't enough room for the staff, it attains a maximum possible size in the space available. Encumber. The staff immediately becomes 500 pounds heavier. That could certainly be exploited if done in just the right amount of time. Shrink. The staff size is halved in all dimensions, and its weight is reduced to 1/8 of normal. Illuminate. The staff sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius, illuminating magical darkness. The light can be colored as you like, completely covering the staff with something opaque blocks the light. Or hold. Becomes fixed in place similar to an immovable rod. Until you will it otherwise, the quarterstaff doesn't move, even if it is defying gravity. The quarterstaff can hold up to 8,000 pounds of weight. More weight causes the staff to fall. A creature can use an action to make a DC 30 strength check, moving the fixed staff up to 10 feet on a success. It's a +2 staff, so, +2 to attack and damage rolls, made with magic weapon. And this has been modified a couple of times, but this was made by Instructo Boy.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the ones I looked at, because there's a bunch of them on this list, right, that are oh, this is just a very specific version of Staff of Power or the Staff of the Magi. And some of them were cool, but, to me, the ones that were more interesting were more the ones that are oh, this is meant to be fought with, probably by a monk, which I found pretty cool. So like I said, I was thinking about that one as well. Some of the mechanics, in there, are written kind of weird or not mechanics, as you mentioned.
Right.
But, the general idea is fun. And
oh, absolutely. I picked this one for a reason. I think there's a lot of things that are in there. And all right, well, what happens if, because when you don't mechanicify something, it's okay, I swing the staff and just before it connects, can I will it to be 500 pounds? What happens right then? It's got the momentum. Is it going to do anything extra? So I see the kind of people that I game with and have gamed with would be like, how can I exploit this?
Yeah, I'm I'm up on the second or third story of a building, 500 pounds of someone below. I think for that one, like, I would just get rid of the monk requirement altogether, just because because that one's like, it has a lot of utility to it, and nothing of it specifically screams monk to me for the most part.
Sure.
Right? Some of the things, yes, but some of the things like act as a brace, become super heavy, that to me doesn't seem like it needs to be a monk.
Sure. And I would support that decision as well.
But, again, very cool, very creative. I also got a quarterstaff that requires attunement by a monk. Someone is like got their heart set on attunement by a monk, and that is the extendable pole. And the quarterstaff is made of wood and has brass cap at either end. Whilst wielding this quarterstaff as a bonus action, the monk can spend Kai and speak the command word to change the weapon's length 5 feet. For every 2 points spent, the staff can reduce down to the size of a pin and can fit behind the monk's ear. At 10 feet, the pole gains a heavy and two-handed and reach. It can be wielded at greater lengths at the DM's discretion. And Phileas Fogg is the person that made this. Now, I like the flavor, and I feel like it's drawing inspiration from one of two places, if not both. I think D&D cartoon, Acrobat, and I also think Monkey King.
Yes.
The putting it behind the ear and shrinking it down definitely makes me think of that Monkey King.
I love magic items that can be hidden on your person, because there are so often times where characters have to go into a social setting where it's like, nope, sorry, no weapons allowed, and then a fight breaks out. It's like, what do you do when you don't have a weapon?
And if you're like into piercings, right, you can replace an industrial bar, so that's kind of cool. It's pop it in your ear and it's like hiding in plain sight.
Ha! I will defeat you with this. What are you talking about?
or they're across the room and you like extend it out because you can extend it up to 50 feet.
Oh, geez.
Essentially based on the mechanics used.
Sure.
Which I also don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like the use of key points in order to power this magic item or any magic item, because to me that is one of the downfalls of the monk is they never have
enough key. Yeah.
They never have enough key points, and like if you happen to be playing like a Way of Four Elements monk, forget about it. Like it's all you're going to do is extend the pole, and then you won't be able to do any of the cool monk stuff. So that part's a little bit problematic, but I think that can be fixed either via charges, uses per rest. It's a staff, so probably charges. But all in all, like I said, I like the flavor and I like where it came from. And it also, to me, rare seems pretty powerful for what it does.
Sure. And that's the thing. Like,
but I think all staves are at least rare.
Right. So. To me, I think the legendary on a +2 staff with these abilities that don't actually have anything mechanical, I think might be too much. But I don't know. I'd have to compare it versus, the other staves in the book. Because usually staff is looked at as an arcane implement, whereas this is more of a weapon.
Yeah.
And weapons, a +1 weapon starts off as uncommon, not rare.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like, at best, that one should be very rare.
And this has no pluses.
Oh.
It actually doesn't even say it's a magical weapon, I don't think. So there's that. And, also just might be some oversights. But again, like oftentimes we pick things because we're like, oh, this is a good idea that, it just might need some tweaks. Like I think both of these would be awesome additions to any game.
Oh, completely.
You would just have to look and be like, okay, does this need a tweak or not?
Any of the mechanics that are part of these items, you would just have to ask, like, all right, how would I rule that in my particular game? The staff getting to 500 pounds. Well, what does that mean? Like, does it take longer to make happen? Is there an action use to do it? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and it is just going to fall. Would it pull me? Do I have to make a concentration check? There's all these things.
Am I strong enough to lift it? Or can you use it like, Thor does with Mjolnir in the movie and just put it on Loki's chest and, leave it there?
Because most people are not going to be like, yeah, 500 pounds, I'm just shove this off and just get up and go.
Yeah.
So like those are things that can be useful and fun, but what happens when a person's like, can I do it, mid-swing, and I'll just let go as it, kind of falls towards my enemy. Like, it's crazy, but, if you're already a monk, you know how to fight fisticuffs, so, like, you don't need the weapon.
And you have to attune to that, right? And it doesn't say it has to be on your person to do a lot of this stuff, right?
Well,
you're like, you'd be like, hold this, right? Or put this in your pack, and next thing you know, it's 500 pounds.
Well, like it returns, doesn't have any kind of limit to it. So like, somebody takes it from you, just like, thanks.
Yeah.
So like there's those elements to kind of look at. So.
And what if you made it 500 pounds? Can you still call it back and it returns to you?
Or what if what if you know that it's over there, you make it be 500 pounds, you summon it to you and stand behind somebody else so it smacks into them.
Which, kind of one of the things that Thor does all the time, right? Like he throws it past someone and it misses, and they're like, you missed, and he just waits.
Did I? Did I?
Yeah. So there's definitely some wiggle room there, some clarifications needed, but it's fun. I like the idea.
Those elements add for amazing stories. So like if you are playing with a group that is creative and fun, and you've got the ability to like think on your feet and know what your players might do and have answers for it, these are going to be great stories. If you're not so great at adjudicating those kind of things, then this might not be the item for you.
Yeah, well, even like with the extending pole, I like it for the utility. The idea to me is like, oh, I need to get up in that window up there. I just hold on to the end of it. And then you're in, right? So you can do cool things like that, and things, or like, oh, we need to get across this ravine, and you lay it down and make it longer, so then the party can kind of bounce across it or do whatever. So like there's like fun and creative things that the players can use it for, and I love items where the players have to think about it and be like, okay, this can be really cool, depending on how creative they get.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun.
So let us know what you think in the comments. Would you allow these in your games? Would you make tweaks? You like them as is? Have you made staffs and put them on D&D Beyond? Share with the Nerdarchy community down below in the comments.
While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Even go ahead and click on that notification bell so you don't miss a single video.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel. So come on back, but you can't wait till then. No worries. Up here, you can find a card to check out this video, but with wands instead of staves. See our top 10 list.
So until next time, stay nerdy.